You're live.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. I'm Jay Peeps.
I'm JC, and
Oh, I pointed the
today
wrong way.
we have a very special guest. We have Mr. Gosha, Athletic Director of FAMU.
How you doing this
How's
evening,
that?
Mr. Gaucher?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys having me on. Looking forward to this interview and to this podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are
Um,
glad to have you. It's going to be an amazing show. We got a lot of great topics lined up this evening. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. You're gonna see. You're gonna love it.
It may
Just
not
like
seem like
Alex
it
and Posen
now, but
loved
it
it.
will be fun.
It really will be. It really
I
will
got
be. I promise.
oh,
all
watch
right.
out for the sound effects.
Got you. All right. Noted.
Sound effects. Ah, like I would do that to him.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC,
This is Fly. This is Denny Hendrix.
And you are listening to
And you are listening to
and you're listening to.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
Oh,
All
we're here.
right. Awesome. Awesome. So since we got AD Gaucher on here tonight, this first quarter's questions are going right to you, AD Gaucher.
All right.
So you know, I got to lead off with my first question here. Okay, first thing, what attracted you to Florida A&M?
Man, I'll say this, just a couple of things. I think our academic reputation is superior. I mean, you hear about just again the graduates of Florida A&M. They are leaders in both. Right? So, there you go. So, that's number one. Number two, you talk about, again, just the fan base and, the Rattlers, man. And, there's no experience like a game day in Tallahassee, Rattler Nation in full effect. I mean, you saw it last year, homecoming every year. And then, again, you have some of these premier games. So, that was the biggest attraction. And for me to be the youngest Division One AD and get a chance to lead a program with such tradition, why not?
I hear you. I hear you. I see. I didn't even know that you were the youngest AD, but that's impressive. Wow.
Appreciate
Congrats
it.
on that.
Yeah.
JC, you got any questions?
Oh man. So, what exactly does an AD do? Because I know some people they don't really fully grasp what it is you
Man,
do.
so in this new world, in this new COVID environment, you got all these COVID protocols and policies that you got to enforce. But essentially, my job is the CEO of the department. So I'm responsible for hiring and firing coaches. Making sure that we operate in compliance, making sure that we, balance our budgets and provide resources for our student athletes to be successful. So, teams don't just show up at games and do it for free and all those type of things. And so, broker and deals, apparel contracts, and TV contracts, that all really fits, kind of at my desk. And I work with a lot of other people at the campus level, including our president, different alumni affairs and all those type things just to bring it together. And so that's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
That's good. So one other thing that I want to ask is, what are your plans for the future of FAMU Athletics? 'Cause I mean, I know right now FAMU's going to the SWAC and everything, and then you got these renovations going on with Bragg. But beyond, say, the next 5 years, what would you say the vision is after that?
I would say for me, just being strategic. We talked about the move to the SWAC. We're really excited about that because we're going to play, blue bloods that are similar to us, from that perspective.
Yes.
In the fact that, regional play, Jackson States of the world, the Southerns of the world, those are now conference opponents, which is certainly something that we're really excited about. Taking FAMU Athletics to places that, quite frankly, we haven't been. We're really excited about some of the future partnerships that we're going to have. And I'm not talking about just amongst HBCU peers. I'm talking about across the country. FAMU is a national brand. And so we talked about being the youngest Division I AD. Like, we're all about innovation, being engaged on social media. How do we monetize that, right? And then how do we create opportunities for our student athletes that at other programs they don't have, and so that's
Okay, well, you mentioned the SWAC, so that's actually what I wanted to ask you. Was moving from the MEAC to the SWAC a hard decision? Was it?
So, I would say decision-wise, no, it was pretty easy, to be frank. I think there's some opportunities. We've had a really long history in the MEAC. Certainly grateful for the MEAC allowing us to play Division I athletics. But there's a lot of things that really changed over the last couple of years in athletics. One of them, kids got to make the grade, right? And class time is important. Even though we want to win, there are academic requirements that we've got to accomplish. And so imagine jumping on a bus and driving from Tallahassee to Dover, Delaware, playing a game, getting back on the bus and driving back to Tallahassee. That's not fun, right? That's not so the reality around it was we had other options. The Southwestern Athletic Conference was one of those options, and where we felt the most comfortable. And, again, week in, week out, it's a homecoming type of atmosphere, right? So we're going to open up this year in Miami against Jackson State. We're going to host Alabama State, here in Tallahassee. We're going to host Grambling for homecoming, and so what other conference, in my opinion, other than the SEC, has week in, week out, natural geographic rivals like the SWAC? So it was a no-brainer for us. It was tough to kind of get all the, the details and all those type things done and keep it quiet. But, we were able to do that. And, I think it's definitely going to be a great move for us.
I can't wait for that Orange Blossom Classic. I can't.
Oh,
that's
what
I'm looking most forward to, that opening weekend game. I can't wait for that.
It will be a movie.
It is. It is. That's what, Labor Day weekend. I'm like, look, Sunday night, I don't have to go to class on Monday. I'm making that trip. I will be there. But who's at the door knocking?
Who's at the door? Who at the door?
Did he say Grambling was homecoming?
Yes, he did.
We did. For all of my Graham fam, we want all the smoke. So yes, Grambling is homecoming.
Yes. Watch me. I like that. I can't wait. Oh,
Give
I
the rest
can't
of
wait.
that James Brown saying.
I got soul, and I'm super bad.
I can't wait. Yes. One other question I got here is, in regards to athletics. Now, the one thing that I've always kind of looked at, I was like, you know what? FAMU and a lot of HBCUs don't have soccer teams. So is there a possibility that maybe sometime down the future you might see FAMU get a soccer team? Like men's and women?
Well, it is a possibility. And we've actually commissioned some studies to talk about, a couple of years down the road as we grow our department, what are some key sports that we might be interested in. Soccer rises to the top of that list. I think it would be great being a minority serving institution, having a soccer program. That's something that we're really excited about. Beach volleyball is another one that we're really excited about. We're in the Sunshine State. We're in Florida, right?
Yeah.
So beach volleyball is one of those that we strongly considered in the near future. So wouldn't rule it out. We've got some other things we got to get done first, but those will be two that would be top.
Right. Yeah. See, beach volleyball is something I would not have thought of. Now that you mention that, I was like, you know what, beach volleyball would be a great idea because Florida State's got beach volleyball. You see them on TV a lot doing that, and it's one of those sports that ESPN televises for tournaments and stuff all the time. So I definitely would be open to that. Yeah.
So
JC, yeah. I'm still trying to figure that out too. I don't know who's at the door knocking.
It's me. Quick question. Beach volleyball at an HBCU. That's going to be a heck of a party.
It's a good time. It's a good time. So we would invite all the students in the SGA and everybody out to come support our student athletes. So,
I would get behind that. I would love to see that.
So we talked about atmosphere, right? I just said there's no experience like FAMU. I know there are a lot of other HBCUs out there who think they know what the HBCU experience is, but FAMU is just a cut above the rest. And so imagine
I'm super bad.
That beach volleyball experience just to add another layer. But yes, really excited about that.
I would love to
see. I would too. I'm excited. Man,
oh, dang it! I missed my shot. Hold on.
Oh, I mean,
let me this last one. I'm probably
go ahead.
This, but being that me and Jay Peeps here, Jordan, are from Tampa, I kind of wanted to ask about the Florida Classic, and see if there's ever something in the works to bring that back to Tampa.
I've been asked that question on numerous occasions. To be straight up and to be frank with you, the answer is no.
Okay.
We have a really good partnership with Bethune. The city or Orlando and Orange County have really made that home. And so my philosophy is, if it's not broke, let's not fix it. And so, for under my tenure in the foreseeable future, that game will be in Orlando.
I can get behind that.
I just had to ask, this is the one shot I had.
It's because with me, it's like I've always going every year since 1998, and then having a grandmother that was an alumnus of Florida A&M and a mother that was an alumnus of Florida A&M. It's seeing that game grow continuously every year since it moved to Orlando. I've always, and then people sometimes say to me, they're like, "Oh, the Florida Classic would be better if it's in Miami or if it's in Jacksonville." I'm like, no. You leave it in the center of the state. Leave it where everyone can get to it.
Yep.
Leave it at the neutral field, and it's fun. Because I honestly like Orlando, to be honest with you. I love the fact that you got Disney World, you got the Orlando nightlife, you got all the hotels.
And this is the thing that really sets FAMU apart. Name another HBCU who has two classics in major cities like Miami and Orlando. I mean, we do it in a certain way, and the good thing about it is after we beat up on Jackson State at the beginning of the year and beat up on Bethune at the end of the year, we're going to take this show on the road to Atlanta for the celebration. And so,
exactly.
We're going to dominate a lot of these major metropolitan cities, but we're going to party while we do it. We're going to win a lot of football games, so we're really excited about it.
Oh, I can't wait! The interesting thing that I mentioned to Allison Posey last 2 episodes ago, I told her, I was like, look, I look at the firepower on that roster and what's coming back and what's coming in and what we still haven't seen because there was no 2020 season. And I'm just like, look, I can see FAMU kicking the door in on the SWAC and sitting at the head of the table.
Man, our kids want to play so bad. I mean, and the good thing, and we kind of look at the good things that the pandemic's created for us, and not the bad ones. But with all the uncertainty, and you're seeing it around the country. Think about how many teams tried to play season, games getting canceled, kids opting out, all these other type of things. And so the more that we've thought about it, and we had a team meeting where our team captains were like, you know what, thank you, AD Gosha, we're glad that, we get an opportunity to become, stronger, to continue to train, but they are so ready to play and compete in the SWAC. And we get to start off with it, it's no cakewalk. Jackson will be ready, but we're going to show them how we do things in Florida. So we'll remind Coach Prime.
Watch me!
He knows now, he knows how those Florida boys play. So,
of course.
So again, we will kindly remind them we're going to have a great time in Miami. We will get some Subway and some Pizza Hut to put on the airplane, get them, and send them on back to Jackson. So,
yes. I like that. I like that. Oh man, that is fantastic.
I like an AD that'll talk trash. I like that.
I do too.
We love this.
That's part of the game.
I do too. I was so excited when AD Gosha was brought in. I think it was the morning of the Florida Classic, if I'm correct, right?
It was.
Yeah, I watched that interview. I believe I missed it because it was like I forget what time of the morning it was because I was trying to get out there to go tailgate. But I watched it on the way over to the stadium, and I was like, "Oh, we got the right guy. We got the right guy. This was a perfect hire. I can't wait. I'm excited."
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Jay Brown from D-Town. Facts.
He said a ring is I saw a ring and some fire in there, so he's saying a ring is in the possibilities.
Yep.
Hey, I'm right there with him.
Hey, like I tell players, hey, I like rings and I like mine with a lot of ice in it. So I'm just letting everybody know early. So we need to make sure we get those.
Watch me!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I had to lean back. I love it. I love it.
You make me
I
come
agree.
back and play.
Come on.
Hey, look. I had a torn ACL back in high school, but you know what? I think I can still give it. I can still give it my all. I know I can.
We'll also
Let me. I'll fight for something.
Hey,
I will fight for. I'll fight for a spot.
You get
No
3
doubt.
downs out of the 3 of us. We can each contribute for 1 down, but we're good.
One other question I got. So I saw the plan for the additions to Bragg Stadium. So is there like a possibility that 'cause I've been a huge advocate of end zone seats, and I've kind of like painted that vision in my mind of what end zone seats could look like on that stadium. So is there a possibility of like more renovations to come? I know it's like phases to this. So are there any later phases that we don't know of yet?
So there are, and again, I think we're kind of taking it one step at a time. And really, the key priority for me when we got here was, how do we salvage Bragg? Because we did have some major concerns that were like immediate. Like if we don't fix this, we won't be able to play in the stadium, so to speak. And so, this phase 1 will address, a lot of that. Going to address a lot of the life safety stuff. And then, we'll kind of talk about what some of the other things may be to come. And this plan is probably going to be a 2-year process. So the renovations are going to start now. Part of it will be done. And then after this football season, we'll start work again. And really, fall of 2022, it will practically be a new facility. And then we'll start talking about, what's next. We want to continue to grow the program. We tell our student athletes, all your dreams can come true at FAMU, just like any other institution. So, so we're committed to that. And really, this is just the beginning.
Okay. Speaking of just the beginning, I wanted to ask you, so with this great football team you have, and that's a 2-minute warning right there. This great football team that you have. When do you think the national, I want to almost say revival of HBCU football is going to happen? Because I believe it's happening as we speak. Like you're
Most
noticing
definitely.
bigger things happening, like with the move to the SWAC and all these very tough games happening now.
Yeah. Well, I think, and again, history shows that premier athletes originated from HBCUs. I mean, you talk about some of the greats at FAMU, Bob Hayes, just one to name of many. And I think, and I do appreciate Coach Prime for this, because I do think because of who he is, he has an amplified voice. And now he's calling attention to, quite frankly, HBCU sports and football in particular, to say, wait a minute, we're not less than, we're actually better than some of these other programs. We develop young people, we give student athletes and students opportunities that they may not have received, and it's good football. It's quality football. And I've worked at mid-majors and broader institutions. I'll take my FAMU Rattlers any day, because filling up a 30,000 seat stadium is not a problem at Florida A&M. And some of the previous places that I've worked, it's a problem. They can't get a third of it, right? So, I think people are realizing it, and I think, again, the amplified voices around it are definitely creating this strong wave for TV people, for TV dollars, for corporate partners, and then for a lot of our student athletes. You don't have to go across the street. You can stay right here at home now.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
Oh, man.
Oh, so that brings us to, we're in the third quarter now. That brings us now to the NFL. So, as you know, I'm gonna start off with the NFC. I got to start off with it. Round 3 of the conference championships are here. The Packers take down the Rams in a frigid frozen tundra, and then down on the bayou, you had Tampa Bay take down New Orleans. And here's the thing. Tom Brady was sitting there and saying, he was like, I know who I want to play next. And when he said that, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. He's not talking about Chicago. He wants Drew Brees again. And I was like, are you crazy? Because I was sitting there, I was worried, because I was like, I saw the first 2 games, and I was like, ooh, I don't know how this is going to go. But they went out there and got it done.
They did. Unfortunately, I am a Saints fan. So that's not how we want to do my boy Drew to go out, but it's okay. That's okay. He had a wonderful career. Salute. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the quarterbacks that's transformed the game, and that's all right. We'll reload.
I believe y'all will. That's still a loaded roster coming back. You got Kamara, you got Michael Thomas. You got to find a quarterback still. I mean, it's either Jameis or Deshaun Watson. Who knows?
Never know.
I was going to say, I don't really think they're fully sold on Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. Maybe we see a little bit of divisiveness happening with Deshaun Watson wanting to get out of Texas.
I'm confident in our coach, Sean Payton. So, hey, he'll get it done, because he will be contenders year in, year out. So, just give it a little time. We got to make some adjustments.
Okay.
So,
go ahead, JC.
Who is that? Wait.
It's Jameis. Put me in, coach. I got LASIK surgery.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? I will call myself a Jameis Winston supporter. All right. I don't want anybody to hammer me on Twitter about that. All right. I do call myself a Jameis Winston supporter. I do think that he should be given a good, clean shot for the starting job. We'll see what happens. Whew. But
I know he want to add something to that. I'm gonna let him add something to that.
I'm rooting for Jameis. You know, like I get it. He might get a shot. You know, and so you never know. Crazier things have happened.
Watch me.
True, that's true. I mean, one thing I did take away from it was I saw Drew Brees like basically with tears in his eyes. He grabbed Jameis towards the end of the game and was like, "Look, this is your team now." Like he pointed at him and told him that. So I was thinking to myself like, Sean Payton has something up his sleeve. I knew there was a method to that.
Yep.
Most definitely. But
So Bucks versus
you know,
Packers. Who you like? I need to know this.
You said I'm
the
gonna
Bucks
go with
versus the Packers.
Packers.
The Packers.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, I kind of gotta agree with him to an extent. I'm like I said. Wait. Here we go.
Hey guys, you know, so
I'm already sick of it. All right, so listen, let me tell you, the Buccaneers. I got them winning this game, even though they're going up to Green Bay to have to play in that staunch, frigid cold. All right, you got the Bucks with a nice run game going on. You have the Packers who can't stop the run, but you also have this great core of receivers who is going up against one of the top 10 secondaries in the league still. And I still think that Tom Brady, as old as he may be, who, I ain't gonna say nothing about that, but can still pick through a defense with a decent offensive line. And even though the Packers may have a nice run game now, you are still facing a top 10 defense with the Bucks, and they're getting Vita Vea back, which will help that out. That's all I'm gonna say there. All right, I'm good.
Raise some good points. We'll see.
Wow, I didn't even change your mind. All right.
All I'm gonna say is the elements are gonna test the Bucks. The Bucks naturally don't play well in Lambeau, but I mean, like I said, I'm a Bucks fan. I'm from Tampa. I'm hoping that they can pull it out.
Wow. What kind of Bucks fan are you? Come on, man. You're supposed to support.
He's only given that voiceover in the background because Baltimore and Pittsburgh are sitting at home right now.
Because of our next game, Bills versus Chiefs.
Bills versus Chiefs.
Buffalo versus Kansas City.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs because I've got two former student athletes on that team. So I'm definitely pulling for them. Travaris Ward, he was in our secondary at Middle Tennessee. And we've got a linebacker on that team as well, Darius Harris. And so I'm pulling for those guys. They got a Super Bowl ring last year. And so my Saints are out. So, hey, I'm all Chiefs.
I would love to see that, honestly. I think Kansas City can pull it out, but I think that it's going to really rely heavily on Patrick Mahomes and how healthy he is with this concussion.
I think he'll bounce back. I mean, typically, again, he's a game changer. That guy in the game is, it's just a different animal. But I think they'll find a way to get him back.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I got Bills by big if Mahomes doesn't come back. But I got Bills by 2 if Mahomes does. I'm going bold. I'm big bold. I really think that this Bills offense can keep up with this Chiefs offense. I mean, the receiving core that they have is absolutely dynamic for Stephon Diggs. Who is that?
It's Patrick Mahomes. Don't forget about my toe.
You still gonna lose by 2, buddy.
Wow. Oh wow. So JC's got a Bucks versus Bills Super Bowl, AD Gaucher's got a Packers versus Chiefs Super Bowl. I got to go with, honestly, I'm thinking it's going to be a Bucks versus Chiefs rematch. The thing is, I think for the Bucks, I think it is like, because I mean, you see all the Super Bowl stuff going up outside of Raymond James. You can't lose sight of what's at stake this weekend and get caught up in that too early. You know what I mean?
Very true.
So I think, you can't go up to Green Bay thinking we've already got this game won. You have to go up there and handle your business first. And I know that's got to be hard to do with all those distractions, like the fan experience, if there is one going up. And then you've got all these banners going up around town and around the stadium and stuff. And then, like, you're driving home from the facility, you see this stuff. So you got to maintain that poise. And then you got to focus on the game plan still.
No doubt. But it may be something to get your juices going too. So you never know.
Yes. That's another thing that I will agree with. I definitely will say, like, it's kind of like a motivating factor too. Like when you find out that the Super Bowl is in your hometown, you're motivated to get the job done. JC, you look like you got something.
No. I'm just. I won't say it. But I will say, let's round out the NFL. Okay. So, Urban Meyer moving to Jacksonville. College coaches don't usually work out. How are you feeling about that, Mr. Gosha?
I'll put it this way. I think if anyone truly could probably have the success in the NFL system, I'm definitely pulling for Urban. I think he just has a knack as a good football coach. And so I think those things, translate well. I wish him success. And again, I think he had a lot of success in Florida. I think the fans are excited to have Urban back in Florida. And you get a quarterback and, the right quarterback anyway, and it can be a game changer.
So you're thinking Pete Carroll, not Nick Saban in the NFL?
Yeah, well, you know what? You actually raise a good point. Again, I think, Pete has had some tremendous success in the NFL, so don't want to discredit that. But I think Urban, his personality and all those things may work better in the NFL versus Nick Saban. I think Nick Saban is probably one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the greatest in the college game. But again, I think the models between college and professional are just drastically different. And so personality, you got to be able to gel, and different type of motivations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I like those answers. So we're in hot topics.
We've reached. Yes, we are in the hot topics now. So as far as what goes on here in the hot topics is just the hottest thing is going on in sports. So right now, you got a bit of, I'm going to start off with this. Say again?
I said Kyrie Irving MIA. That's what you want to start with?
I was going to start with something else, but we can also start with that. Kyrie Irving, he missed his 7th straight game. It's, I don't know what to make of it.
I support Kyrie in his movement. Hey, do what you got to do, get your head right, all those type of things, make your points. I think right now we're still in this movement where, people can step up and say kind of what they need to say to get the point across. And so I'm a Kyrie fan. Again, I miss not seeing him compete. But hey, he'll be back.
True. And when he does come back, that's that trio with him, KD, and Harden. Oh my gosh.
I'm serious. Yeah.
It's just gonna be scary. You look at James Harden's numbers in his Nets debut: 32 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists, and 4 steals. All that, and then I believe it was a win over the Magic.
You know what this tells me about Harden? He really did not want to be in Houston, man. I don't think he really wanted to be in Houston. Don't get me wrong, Harden can put up some numbers. But a triple-double like that first game back after you came into the practice facility overweight, I mean, that's some different type of excitement for a new team. Ain't no rust on the bones, ain't no extra meat on the bones. You just in there and you ready to hop in. I'm just saying that kind of shows you.
He still got it, hey.
He still got it, but it does show that he didn't really want to be in Houston anymore. I don't think we would be seeing that if he was in Houston right now.
I kind of felt there was motivation behind it, because I was always an advocate of saying, if you go there and you get your wish, you got to produce. Go there and you got to produce. You got to live up to all this hype you've been putting yourself up to, and he's done that so far. I believe. I believe they're playing tonight as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check this and see.
It'll be interesting to see what goes on. I won't lie. I'm really down to see the offensive production that's going to happen from this team. I'm curious to see how they're going to help with their defensive deficiencies now that have added on top of what they already had with adding Harden. Maybe Harden makes a return back to his sixth man of the year form when he was tops in defense. I'm really down to see what's going to happen.
Well,
who is it?
Tennessee. Why'd we fire our football coach?
We were just about to get there.
Oh Lord!
Lord! Listen.
So Tennessee fires Jeremy Pruitt, and then Philip Fulmer has stepped down as the AD. They were, no, you did not put the McDonald's bag on the table.
I heard they were the newest corporate sponsor for Tennessee Athletics.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I have very large and somewhat funny positions on this, so I'm just gonna say this really first and get this off my chest. Now, teams cheat. We get that. We understand. But how does Tennessee cheat and still get the worst grades?
Well, what I'll say, and obviously, being an athletic director, being in the space, culture of compliance is really important. Like, we all have rules, right? We got to play by the rules. We're developing young men and women, and anytime that you bypass the rules or massage the rules to get a competitive advantage, that's not what we're hired to do. That's not what we do. So it is unfortunate. I do know Tennessee's got an ongoing investigation. So obviously their administrators will do their due diligence and hopefully get the program back where it needs to be. But certainly unfortunate, some of the things that you're hearing coming out of Knoxville.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I switched the channel over to the SEC network just to hear what Paul Feinbaum had to say today about it, and it didn't sound good. I mean, I was kind of hopeful for Tennessee moving forward, possibly into the near future. But I mean, when you hear Paul Feinbaum and guys mention the possibility of what might be a quote unquote nuclear winter, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I've heard about some people in more extreme talks have been thinking about the death penalty.
Whoa! I hope not. I really hope not.
I'm loving it.
Well, this is what I'd say, and especially those perennial programs like that. I mean, you don't want any kids to have to deal with things like the death penalty, these extreme penalties, because contrary, I think the adults made some decisions that didn't put them in great position, right? But ultimately, institutions like that, you shouldn't have to bend the rules. You've got enough resources to do it. You're playing in a perennial league, and is it competitive? Yes. But any leader of a program, you want to win, and you want to win the right way.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it happens. But again, my thoughts, prayers to the student athletes and the folks that are involved trying to clean the thing up a little bit.
Most definitely. I agree.
Who is it?
We got it.
Producer question. Would the death penalty kill Tennessee, considering they have, I think, the largest stadium in the SEC?
No, I think Tennessee has and I lived in Murfreesboro, Nashville area for 6.5 years. They've got a strong enough brand. Their alumni and quite frankly, the educational elements of the University of Tennessee, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, regardless of whatever I think the penalty will be, I think you'll see, UT rise back to probably something.
I agree with that.
Any final hot topics? Anybody got some finals?
Anybody got some finals? Well, Gonzaga basketball. And speaking of Gonzaga basketball, this is the question I got on Twitter regarding FAMU basketball, because I talked about the idea of Gonzaga looks like an immovable object right now. Someone came and asked me, what would it take for FAMU basketball to get like that? I just came out and said, FAMU's got a good foundation right now with Coach Robert McCollum. You got to give him time to just continue to build his brand, because you look at Gonzaga. Gonzaga's had the same coach for 22 plus years.
Yeah,
you give Coach McCollum that time, he can do it.
So first and foremost, to your point, yes, I want to brag on Coach McCollum for a minute, and what this guy's done in 3 years, not only on the court but off the court. I mean, he's turned our APR around. We have a 100% graduation rate. We're developing young men, but we're competitive as all get out. Last year on New Year's Eve, we beat Iowa State, largest school history. This year, obviously, even in a COVID environment where you're constantly starting and stopping, we played some Power 5 schools to the T. We played Georgia to the T. We played South Carolina to the T, Georgia Tech. And so do we still have some building blocks and things we got to do to move the program forward? Yes. But continuity is key. People investing in the program, showing up to basketball games is the way to do it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Most definitely.
We've reached the end. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
We are here now in the post game.
All right. Wonderful
show.
Yeah.
FAMU, there you go.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. It's so much fun. Don't forget to follow you on Twitter.
Yep, at Kortne G or FAMU Athletics. So we appreciate you guys for having us, and remember, the Rattlers will strike, and strike again.
We love to see it.
Also, donate to that Rattler Athletic Fund.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
And then also, y'all can follow us on Penalty Talk on Twitter and on Facebook. You can find us at Throw Flags on Instagram, or you can just really type in Penalty Talk. I think the same name will pop up, Throw Flags. And then also, too, our email is flagonntheplaysports@gmail.com if you need to shoot us an email. And then also make sure you like, share.
Spotify.
Yes.
Like, share, subscribe, send to your friends, your mama, your cousin, your uncle who is related to you but not really related to you. All those people. I'm JC.
I'm J Peeps. AD Gosha, it's been a pleasure having you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.